It's about spreading good. It's about feeling good. These things make happiness for your life. It makes happiness for other people. If I can have other places so I can employ people, that brings me happiness.
Welcome back to the podcast. So glad you're with us today. You know, one of my favorite things about rolling around my city is I seem to encounter these amazing people. And the beauty of this podcast is I get to share some of those conversations with you at home. Case in point, after Pilates one day, I happened to roll into this juice bar. I've been going to the sister coffee shop around the corner for many years. And I found out that they opened a juice bar. Come to find out, the owners were there that day, and I ended up having a brilliant conversation with Miss Rachel Sazon, and she joins me now through the beauty of technology. Rachel, how are you, girl?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's so exciting for me to be able to do this because it wasn't just me that felt that moment that we had the other day, was it?
No.
And how it started is I was really surprised to meet your husband who was working at the juice bar, and he happened to say, "Oh, my wife's through the window," and you waved and you came out and we started talking about your story. And that's why I kind of wanted to have you on the show, because I think a lot of people don't understand the struggle it takes to become a small business owner. Was not a straight line for you at all, was it?
No. It wasn't a straight line at all. And I mean, just the thought of that, right? A small business. I mean, it's small. Even for you, it's just like the instant thought of that you could possibly do something like this.
Yeah.
But it is so many hurdles, and it's so difficult. And sometimes though, we just stand in our own way of it.
Right.
We overload of all the things. It's like, oh, I don't have someone else to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's me too. Like, this is me too. But I'm telling you, it's such a joy in having your own, though.
Yeah.
And
being your own boss, having autonomy.
I mean, it's not, for the weak, of course. But I feel like everybody really can if they can push forward.
So let me stop you, because here's what I found out about you is that, so and I'm going to sing your praises. I'm going to give you your flowers, girl. Proud graduate of the culinary arts program at what? Cordon Bleu. Come on, only the best of the best. So you knew from a very young age that there was something about food. Was it growing up in your house that food was like a central character? What was it?
My mother was the worst cook ever. Okay. My mom was a super health nut. And once she got a hold of something that was like supposed to be good for you, it was like overload on us.
So like, give me an example.
Okay. I'm going to tell you where my life changed in this direction. I was 15 years old and my mom cooked salmon for 1 month straight. And I said, I am not eating this again. This is crazy. And she said, if you want to do it, you do it.
But here's the thing. Your brain is going to be, you're going to be on point. You're going to live to 120 and still be able to do crossword puzzles, because all of the good omegas that you got from all the fish your mama gave you.
I was like, Mom, I can't do this. And she said, you want to cook dinner? Because, I was the youngest of 5 kids. She was like, this is not easy. She said, I see you watching these food channels. You want to do it? You tell me what to get. I'll have it for you when you're done at a school, and you can make dinner.
So challenge accepted. I'm going to do this.
I cooked for my family. I even have I have a picture somewhere where I cooked Thanksgiving dinner for everybody. That Thanksgiving, I was 15 years old, and everybody from that point was like, oh, she can cook. This is just her talent. This is her talent. So everybody pushed me in that direction. They were like, you're just so good at cooking.
But did you like it at 15?
I did. You know what I did? I liked creating. I feel like I'm just a creative person. It's not just cooking. Like, I like to create things. So I felt like I fell in love with that, and I fell in love with the praise. Everybody being like, oh my God, she's so young. She's making all this food, So it was an easy step for my parents would be like, that's where you belong. Like, let's do that, And I was like, okay. But then when I got to culinary school, I was like,
Mm.
and I started working kitchens in LA, which is extremely hard. It's not only just being hard, being as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
the guys don't want you there. They
Mm.
don't want you there. And it's crazy enough, you can't say that you went to school. You will instantly not get a job.
Wait, what?
Yes. I had
What? That doesn't make any sense.
because they think that people that come in with a culinary education think they know everything. And they feel like they're above what's happening in the kitchen. And
Interesting.
I found that I more doors open for me just saying that I had experience than to say I actually had a degree, because I had instant like, no way there.
Did you find over time that they would eventually find out that you had that degree, or you just let it lie?
No, I just let it lie. I tried to get in where I fit in. I worked for Raleigh Studios for a really long time doing catering in graveyard shift. I mean, it was rough, but over time I just felt like it wasn't inspiring. Once you have a menu set and you're just doing that over and over again, it was like, this is not what I want to do forever. Like, I like people. I want to see people. I want to talk to people. I'm just in the back of the house with people who really don't want to talk to me, and it was hard. So I was like, I'm going to step out of this box, and I'm going to get jobs that maybe I am overqualified for, but that just get me out of where I am. And that's what I started to do. I mean, I had a culinary degree, and I decided to work at what was that place called? Edible Arrangements.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
At the time we were dating, and he was just like, what are you doing? And I was like,
You had a plan. You had a plan for this.
there is a job in the front of the house, yet it's still in the food industry. 'Cause I want to see how they are doing things in front of house.
You were
And
putting yourself through boot camp.
yeah, then I went to be a hostess somewhere, and then I was a server somewhere, and then I got a management position somewhere. So it's just like, you gotta. I wanted to learn more about the industry. It's just like, I went to the culinary school. I even did culinary business. I knew that one day I wanted to own something myself. I just didn't know what I wanted to, because when I first finished culinary school, I wanted to own a bistro. Now I look back at like that would have been so dumb. Like,
So fast forward. So you work for a lot of other people for a long time. And it probably got to a point where you're like, okay, I'm doing this. I got to do more. I want more. This can't be my life. That's a leap from where you're at, management position, working for other people, to opening your own thing. That's a big leap. What was that conversation like? By the way, we have to shout out your husband Ron. He's fabulous. And I know he's you guys are like in lockstep on this. This is a partnership to the truest extent, right?
he lets me do the most. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely more back office. He's definitely more like the financials and stuff, but like, he definitely always gives me my flowers too. He's like, I could never do this without you. You could definitely do it without me, but like, I couldn't do it without you. Like, this is your vision. This is all of you. And I appreciate him for that, because he's always just my rock of like, do I think I can do this? He's like, of course you can do it. You know what I mean? Like, you've done everything.
So the idea of doing your own thing wasn't a leap for him. You both kind of got to that place at the same time.
Because we had partnered with someone else for something, because he was like, oh, this will be our step before, so we can get, our feet wet. And I didn't want to do it. But you want to let your husband make some decisions. And I was like, okay. But it was a bar. And we had a child, and not seeing him at night working the bar, he was doing a lot of work at the bar, and it was a strain. And it was like, this, there has to be a change here. There has to be a change that happens, because this is not working for our life.
Yeah. Because you're trying to build a family here. It wasn't just about your professional career. It was about family life and home as well. And you were trying to pursue that elusive work-life balance, right?
The hardest thing is when you have something that's semi comfortable, and you want more, it's really hard to leave that comfort zone. And I feel like that's what happened to us, because I was pregnant with our second baby, and I wasn't feeling happiness. I was feeling overworked, and I was not feeling like we were really getting what we had put into this business that we did with someone else. And even though we were comfortable, and even though, everything was working, I knew if we stayed in that situation, it was just going to be a downward spiral. And I felt like it was now or never for me. At first, it seemed really scary, because it's like, I'm pregnant. I couldn't just leave and like go get another job. And he was constantly on the fence, like, should I work? Should I not work? Like, and I was like, you can't work. And I know that's a lot to ask of you, because you want to provide for your family. But at this point, I need you to help me get all of our ducks in a row so we can open our own business.
What were those days like? Because one income, you got a kiddo, you're pregnant, and when you're pregnant, you're a little more worried about the world around you, and how were you at that time? Were you a lot of sleepless nights?
It was a lot of sleepless nights, but you know what it was too? My mama bear kicked in. It did. It was like, I don't I was in such a hustle mode, because I was like, I have a daughter on the way. I have a daughter. Like, what am I going to show them? I can't show them that I was working and making all this money for someone else just to go back and serve someone else. I'm not going to do that. I was like, we got to dig deep. I mean, our funds were running extremely low. And I was like, my husband was like, I have to get a job. And I was like, nope, we're going to do something different. Trust me. I was like, people who all have praised my food over all this time, right? They know who I am, my friends, my family. This is the time for them to support. I was like catering dinners every single night out of my house, Monday through Friday. And he would get in the car and drive them to people's homes.
He's the Uber Eats guy delivering
Yes,
your
yes, he
food.
was the
This is
Uber Eats
amazing.
guy before Uber Eats. Yes, and we
But you
did
know
all
what? Can I also say something?
mm,
Oof, girl, you found the right partner. What a beautiful commitment that he made to you in saying, whatever it takes, girl, let's do it. Let's go. Give me the keys. I'm out. We're
I
going.
mean, he did. I mean, he went to several markets to get like the best deal on. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a hustle. It was a struggle, but it was like we had a little one. I had to be home with her. I was also pregnant. It's just like we did what we had to do, and
You have to do.
God just put everything in a line for us. It really was. Believe in that energy. You put that energy out that it's gonna
Yes.
happen. It's
Yes.
gonna happen. The things that you think are in the way of you, it's you in the way of you. You can hop right over those things. You can keep going and find somebody else that's gonna say yes.
Okay, so can I just say, y'all, this is what was happening when we ran into each other because you gave me that good word. I was all up in my head about the project that we're working on with my show. And I was like, okay, it's taking time. We're struggling. The grind is real. And of course, I went to a cafe, which is called the Undergrind Cafe. And we had this moment, and you're like, and I remember you said the words to me, sis, you just got to push through. And that's what you did. You pushed through. Where did you find you said a little bit it was the mama bear, but where else did you find those deep reserves of resilience? Because I think that's what a lot of people are feeling empty right now. How do you dig deep when things are rough? How do you do that?
How I do it is whenever I'm feeling like I'm not enough, or this is beyond me, or I'm not educated enough for that. What I say to myself is, this is the only life you have is yours. This is it. Like, you can't, if you really, really think, depending on people, depending on chances, it's all really up to you. You really can create all of the things you need, your blessings that you need, because if you believe in you, That's all that matters. Have you ever went somewhere and somebody really believed what they were talking about? So
Yes.
you
Yeah.
believe them too?
Yes.
You believe them.
Yes, yes.
Really is contagious.
It's absolutely catching. Like it absolutely you feel somebody else's energy. It's contagious. I talk about this. We know how contagious hate and gossip and all those things can be. We both know,
100%.
okay?
100%.
So, how about that flip side though? When you walk in and somebody gives you a smile, you smile back. When
Yeah,
somebody does a nice thing to you, you feel more inclined to do something nice. And look, I'm not trying to be Pollyanna, but I think we can afford to put more of that out there in the world.
100%. Do you know there's so many times every day? We're right next to Hamilton High School. Okay. When we were first opening the business there, all the restaurants, surrounding restaurants said, you're going to be in for it because these kids are going to come. We hate them. They leave trash. We always make sure their food is to go, even if they want it for here. We want, I said to myself, that is nuts. Okay. When I tell my staff to, when kids come in here and they don't say hello, they don't know to say hello. This is your opportunity to teach these kids.
Reach one, teach one. Come on.
Yes, you kindness. Over the years, I have hired so many Hamilton students that first came to me and
I
said,
love that.
love this place. You guys were always nice to me. I mean, I have 3 Hamilton students right now that work for me that it's about, you have to spread that stuff because everybody can.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so many people that have been smashed forever. They've been smashed. And it's hard to ignite your own fire, but sometimes it's so important to silence the world and really do that. You really have to do that. You really have to look in the mirror. You have to say, I'm enough, because I am all I have. I'm
Yes.
all I have. I can't wait for somebody else to do it. I'm all I have.
We're
So
gonna be waiting a long time if we're waiting for somebody to do
yeah,
it.
so it's like you want to. It's really, you want to enjoy your life, or you want to not enjoy your life, because you can enjoy your life and not have much, but you were very happy with all the choices you made. Don't not make choices because you're afraid of people, afraid of what people are going to say. All of these people have their own baggage, their own insecurities, everything. So being scared, I wiped out being scared a long time ago.
So let me ask you about that because I know I did a little researching and you shared this with me. You were so close to making the cafe happen. So your family, friends, you got their support and you did what you could to get the money together from your catering business. You put it together and you were still just that short.
Yes, because everything you think you have enough money for that you calculate, forget about it.
Add another zero.
Yes, because there'll be inspections and there'll be re-inspections and there'll be all these things fixtures that you forgot you had to do. There's all these different things. So,
You'll find a problem in the midst of it all.
by the end, we were short $10,000, and my husband was like, "This is such a sad case. Like, what are we gonna do?"
And when you think about it, 10,000 isn't, it's so crazy making it's not a gigantic number to be short.
Where there is a will, there is a way. I am not giving up. I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. And I did. I was like researching like crowdfunding and all this stuff. And then I was like, okay, I see that they have this, I was like, let me see what the community wants. Right. So I did the GoFundMe thing, and I went around. I had a flyer and it had my same logo because I saw neighbors for the past 6 months looking at that logo in the window. And I said, hey guys, we need $10,000 to open.
You went door to door?
Door to door. I went
Girl.
all of Castle Heights. I
And
went,
by the way, you grew up in that area. So some of these families and some of those people in those streets, you know.
I said, I'm your neighbor. I am your neighbor. I said, you want this here? You will help me get this here. I said, any money will help. $5 will help. I was like, don't throw this flyer away. I did that for like 2 weeks, and we surpassed our goal.
On July 29th, 2004, she posted an update online and it said, quote, "We did it. 161 people supported and they will always be part of Undergrind history."
Yes.
That is a beautiful thing. Do you remember that like it was yesterday?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And here's what she did. You went door to door again and
Mhm.
handed out gift cards to those
I
people
sure
that
did.
supported you.
I did gift cards. I did mugs. I did it all. I have a thank you um poster. Those people, I know them by name when they come in. I mean, you know, they're family. We trick or treat at their homes every year. I mean, it's about building a community. Even if you don't live in that community, you can build community where you are. You can get help from people because really, ultimately, are kind. People do want to help people. They do. They want you want to help other people. You want other people to succeed. It's just natural in us. It's just naturally to be nice. But what happens is the world puts this shield of like walk past people, or what if somebody doesn't smile back, or what if somebody doesn't say hello, and it's just like it's when you can get be a bigger person to step out of that. I mean, you can have a good life. I mean, I love talking to people. I love this job.
I know you love this job and you've managed to hire staff that love the job. You're guaranteed to not only, by the way, we haven't even spoken about the fact that the coffee, you guys are doing beautiful things with coffee and hot beverages and you have a beautiful menu with delicious names on them. And now you have a smoothie and raw bar around the corner so people can get their healthy fix as well. I mean, I have a feeling, Rachel, this isn't just it for you.
I definitely want to grow. I don't want to stay small. I want to get bigger. I want to be able to employ more people. I want to be able to hire more people. I want to be able to inspire people. Like that's really what your life is about. It's about spreading good. It's about feeling good. These things make happiness for your life. It makes happiness for other people. If I can have other places so I can employ people, that brings me happiness. Like it really does. Like I love my employees. I tell them the biggest thing to know when you come to work, because this job ain't rocket science, okay? But the biggest thing is not only the customer service, is getting along with your fellow staff. We're a family. When you can work together and you don't have to have a third party telling somebody else when you can just talk to each other, it's a beautiful thing. This is not a corporate business. You know what I mean? Like it really does feel good because when everybody's getting along, it's a vibration. People can feel it when they come in. No tension, everybody's in a good mood, and you got to work with these people. At the end of the day, you want to come somewhere to work where you like to work.
Yeah, it's the truth. Look, you have created a beautiful bit of sunshine in the world, and it is radiating out of South Robertson. If you happen to be in LA, check it out, Undergrind Cafe, and then it's Undergrind Raw right around the corner. Delicious, and I guarantee you, you will leave with some joy in your soul because it's a beautiful thing, and it's the intention that you and Ron have set in that place, Rachel. And I want to say something to you from one woman to another. Thank you for the inspiration that you were to me that day. I needed that boost and you gave it to me. And so I just wanted to give you those
And
flowers.
it gave me joy to give it to you.
I
You
always say
did
that
it.
when you open your
I
hand to
wanted to give
give,
it to you.
right? You open your hand to give, your hand is open to receive. And that's a
Yes.
beautiful thing. Thank you for being on the podcast today. I'm gonna come by
You.
and we're gonna have a dirty chai together one day soon,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, anytime. I'm there all the time.
Give my love to Ron and you take care. And to everybody out there, thanks for tuning in for another episode of the podcast. We'll see you next time.
Bye.